Hello students, we are going to start with lesson 4, that is determinants. So already matrix we have studied, lesson number 3. Now this is the extension of that lesson, determinants. Okay, now let us start. Determinant. A determinant of a square matrix A. Okay, first of all remember that a determinant can be taken only for a square matrix. Okay, so a determinant of a square matrix A is denoted by det dot A, or like this you put two lines and in between that you write A. Okay, this is how it is denoted. So for it is only for square matrices. Okay, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 1 by 1. Then a determinant of order 1 by 1 matrix A is A11. This is 1 into 1, that is given by mod of A11 equal to A11. Okay, this is how it is written as. Then a determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix A. It is, see, this is a matrix A11, A12, A21, A22 is given by, see, like this we write in determinants, straight lines. In matrix we are making brackets. Here we are doing straight lines. Okay, is equal to A11. Now this is value, actually we are finding the value of determinant. So we cross multiply. So A11 into A22 minus A12 into A21. Keep this order in mind. You have to start from left side. First element and last. Okay, so A11 into A22 minus A12 into A21. So this is how we find the value of a determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. Then a determinant of order 3 of matrix A, that is A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3 is given by, this is by expanding along the rows. This expansion is done along the row. Take first element of first row. Okay, if you remember we have rows and columns. So these are rows, 3 rows and 3 columns. So first element of first row, and alongside leave the first row and first column, and whatever remains that you write in determinant form, minus B1. Now after you finished for first row, minus B1 into, now B1 is here, that is first row second column. So leave the first row fully, leave the second column fully, whatever remains write it in the determinant form, that is A2 C2 A3 C3 plus C1, now first row third column, C1 into, now leave the first row and the third column entirely, leave these elements, and whatever remains that you write in determinant form is A2, A3, B2, B3. Okay, and of course you know a 2 by 2 determinant how to solve. We have seen it previously by cross multiplying these terms. Okay, remember first A1 is positive, B1 you have to take negative, and again C1 you take positive. We can find the value of a determinant by expanding along any one of the 3 rows and the value remains same. Okay, so you can expand the determinant by any one of the rows. So here we have taken A1, B1, C1. You can even take A2, B2, C2 or A3, B3, C3, and accordingly you write the determinants. That is also possible. Generally, we find the value of determinant by expanding along a row or a column which has maximum number of zeros. Okay, so generally whoever here, if there are many zeros, whichever row has maximum number of zeros, we start expanding in that manner. Okay, then for any square matrix A, the determinant of A satisfies following properties. Now we are going to study some properties. There are around 8 properties. We see them one by one. Okay, this is determinant of A dash equal to determinant of A. That is A transpose is equal to A. Okay, where A dash is equal to transpose of A. Okay, and determinant A dash equal to determinant A means its value does not change. Okay, there if you see in matrices, the row becomes column and column becomes row in transpose of a matrix. Here they will become same, but its value won't change. Okay. If we interchange any two rows or columns, then sign of determinant changes. Okay. That is, if we interchange any two rows or columns, then sign of determinant changes. That is positive, negative, whatever it is. Okay. Now, if any two rows or any two columns are identical or proportional, then value of determinant is 0. So in any two of the rows, supposing the same elements are there, say 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6, then two rows have same elements. In that case, determinant is 0. If we multiply each element of a row or a column of the determinant by constant k, then value of determinant is multiplied by k. Okay, any one row, elements of any one row or any one column, if you are multiplying them by k, then after evaluating whatever value we get, that is definitely a multiple of k. Okay, then fifth is multiplying a determinant by k means multiply elements of any one row or one column by k. For example, see, multiplying a determinant by k means multiplying element of any one row, means fully if you are multiplying like any, if you say k determinant A, so that k is applicable to any one row or any one column. And if A is equal to Aij 3 by 3 matrix, then Ka, that is determinant k into A, is k outside the determinant sign cube mod of A. Because it is a 3 by 3 matrix, here raised to power becomes k cubed. Okay, because it was a 3 by 3. If it is a square matrix, then this is k square mod A. And if it is a 1 by 1, then definitely k into A. Okay. Seventh one, if elements of a row or a column in a determinant can be expressed as a sum of two or more elements, then the given determinant can be expressed as a sum of two or more elements. Means elements of any row, any one row or any one column, if they can be expressed as sum of two or more elements. Okay, so and then they can be written as a sum of, can be expressed as a sum of two or more determinants. So we can split them up and write into two determinants separately. This you will understand when we solve the sums of this step. I will remind you of this property 7. 8. If an element of a row or a column of a determinant, the equimultiplies of corresponding elements of other row or column are added, then the value of determinant remains same. When its value does not change, just see, if two elements of a row or a column of a determinant, the equimultiples of corresponding elements of other row or columns are added, then the value of determinant remains the same. This also whenever we are solving the sums, okay, you will understand. Then this is, if A is a q-symmetric matrix of order, then mod of A equal or determinant of A equal to 0 if it is a skew symmetric. If you remember, all the diagonal elements are diagonal, other than the diagonal elements, corner elements, three corner elements, they are same. In that case, the value of determinant is 0. Then area of a triangle of vertex x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3 is given by area is equal to half determinant x1 y1 and last column will be 1 1 1, x2 y2, x3 y3 1. Here you can see that x1 x2 x3 we put in one column, y1 y2 y3 we put in one column, and 1 1 1 in the last column. Okay, so this is how we can determine the area. This is formula to determine area of a triangle whose vertices are given. I think in coordinate geometry in class 10 also you have studied, but there we are using that specific formula which has come from here only. If you expand this determinant, you will get that coordinate geometry formula. Okay. Minors. Now what are minors? Minor of an element aij of a determinant of matrix A is determinant obtained by deleting ith row or jth column and denoted by mij. Okay, either we delete one row or any one column and we write the determinant, then it is called as a minor of the determinant. Okay, then cofactors. Cofactors of aij of given matrix, that is determinant by aij, is -1 into I plus j mij. There is a formula, children. No need to learn, you'll remember it. Okay, I will tell you how to do it. Okay, then value of determinant of a matrix A is obtained by sum of product of elements of a row or a column with corresponding cofactors. For example, see, this is the value of determinant, okay, of matrix A. It's obtained by sum of product of elements of a row or a column with corresponding cofactors. Now how cofactors formula is here, we can find cofactors and we multiply it with the elements and then get the value. This is the example of that. If elements of one row are multiplied with cofactors of elements of the other row, then their sum is 0. For example, see, these are cofactors and these are elements of the row. If they are multiplied, then we get the answer as 0. This also in the examples we are going to read. It is a different concept altogether, but since everything is together here, all we are doing together. Adjoint of a matrix. Now A adjoint, what is adjoint? A into this adjoint, ADJ is a short form of adjoint of A is equal to adjoint of A into A, which is equal to A into I. It does not change the value of determinant A, where A is square matrix of order n. Next is singular matrix. A square matrix is said to be singular or not singular accordingly as mod of this is determinant of A is 0 or determinant of A is not equal to 0. Means it is singular when its determinant is 0 and it is non-singular when its determinant is not equal to 0. This singular and non-singular is used to find the inverse of a matrix. We see it in the next part. Inverse of a square matrix, that is AB is equal to B into A is I, where B is a square matrix and then B is called as the inverse of A. So A inverse equal to B or B inverse is equal to A, and here A inverse equal to A itself. A square matrix A has inverse if and only if A is a non-singular. Here you see non-singular means the mod of A is not equal to 0. If it is non-singular, only then its inverse can exist, and this formula we can use, that is A inverse equal to A upon mod A into adjoint of A. Then if A1x plus B1y plus C1z equal to D, and these are the two equations given, then this we can write in the determinant form. Then these equations can be expressed as Ax equal to B. A is this, x is this, and B is this. Unique solution of equation Ax equal to B is given by x is equal to A inverse B, where mod of A is into 0 not equal to 0. This system of equation is consistent or inconsistent. accordingly as if solution exists or not exist. It is consistent if solution exists, if it is non-consistent if the solution do not exist. For a square matrix A, in matrix equation Ax equal to B, mod of A is not equal to 0, then there exists unique solution. Okay, so that is for a square matrix Ax equal to B, mod of x not equal to 0, then there exists unique solution, means one solution. If mod of A is 0 and adjoint of A into B is not equal to 0, then there exist no solutions. These are the conditions for consistent and inconsistent. And if mod of A is 0 and adjoint of A into B is equal to 0, then system may or may not be consistent and has infinite solutions. Okay, so these are the three conditions. Okay, now this is all the basic throughout the textbook which I have explained you just now. We won't do everything at a stretch, so we will go in the form of small exercises. So next time I would start with exercise 4.1. Kindly go through the matter well. Okay, if you have any doubts children, kindly message me personally.